Hi, welcome to a new episode of AkiGeeks. I'm Cris.
And I'm Jack.
For those of you who are new to our channel, a huge welcome. We are the AkiGeeks as well as AkiGeeks podcast and YouTube channels. You can find us both for the audio edition on Spotify, Apple Podcast and major podcast platforms, as well as YouTube for the video edition.
We focus on a wide variety of topics in our discussion. On AkiGeeks, mainly video games and all that is related to the gaming world, while on AkiGeeks, we focus on mental health, but also on our passions that me and Cris share, like TV series, movies, books, language learning, and much more.
You are totally right, Jack. Regarding AkiGeeks, you are more than welcome to check out our latest video about the well-known gaming series Samurai Warriors 5. Starting from the analysis of the game, we spread our horizons in order to chat more widely about Japanese history and culture. So, if you have a passion for gaming and Japan, or maybe both of them, you are more than welcome to check out AkiGeeks as well.
That's right, Cris. Actually, we are both fond of Japan, but all about Eastern culture interests us a lot.
Yes, but today we are not going to chat about Japan specifically, because AkiGeeks, it is a chat between two friends sharing many interests as well a journey in mental health. So, first of all, how are you doing, Jack?
Actually, Cris, these weeks have been pretty busy for me, but also good because I had the opportunity to start something new in my life, which is rebuilding my house. For the rest, apart from my daily routine at work, I just try to spend time with my family and friends since it has been Easter holidays. So a lot of friends of mine came back my native town from the bigger cities because you know, Cris, that I live in a quite small town on the coast of Tuscany. It was pretty good because once in a while when you meet your friends after a long time, there's plenty of things to rediscover and talk about. It's not like when you hang out and talk about the same things over and over because it happens so often, but once a month it's more spontaneous because you have to sum up all the things that you have been doing in such a broad time.
Did you all eat chocolate together?
Only with part of my family, because even if my cousins are grown up, they are adolescents, I still decided to give them an Easter egg as a gift, even if the surprise inside is not fitting quite much their age, because everyone likes to feel like children again.
You know, as for me, the only Easter eggs that I can remember is the ones that we can find in movies and TV series. We became quite expert of those.
That's right, Cris. Yeah, totally right.
Overall, it was quite a peaceful time and weather was very nice in Celsius, raised up above 20 degrees, so warm days.
As you know, part of my family has southern Italian roots. That means basically that during holidays you start being together with your uncle, aunts and cousins. From the morning you arrive at evening and you're still there together. So it's a day filled of board games, card games. You rediscover part of tradition which is connected to staying together and feeling close to each other. Even card games in Italy has a big part on the tradition. Guys, if you don't know it, I wanna clarify that when you play board games here in Italy, actually you can have at least two couple of decks, one with different symbols and figures, depending if you're using the standard Italian cards or the southern Italian cards.
Jack, you're not talking of Magic the Gathering or anything like that, I guess.
Cris, I'm talking about traditional board card games like Briscola or Scopa that our grandparents used to play when they were kids, a tradition that accompanied them through childhood, adolescence and adulthood. It's something that gathered family and community all together.
Did you play chess as well?
Yes, of course, but not with my family, unfortunately. I'm playing chess just online with other people. I played with a friend of mine who came back from another city and he has this huge chess board with huge pieces.
Like the one we can see in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, where basically the pieces come to life.
In that representation, the characters becomes figures and pawns, but it's not what happens this time. It's just a smaller board, but still you're getting involved in the game. in such atmosphere.
Yeah, I think so. Sounds really good Easter holidays overall.
Yeah, what about you, Chris?
Yeah, about me, nothing special, as you said, meeting family. Since the pandemic, even the lifestyle is a bit different compared to before. I don't gather in big groups or anything like that, but I still enjoy the peaceful and relaxing time.
Yeah, I understand it, Chris. Actually, speaking about festivities, there are only these two events that bring my family completely all together, Easter and Christmas. Subjectively, I appreciate more Christmas than Easter, but even Easter can be a pretty good excuse to be together.
To be honest, Jack, since we also cover themes such as mental health, at least in my case, usually holidays are not my favorite period of the year. Somehow it seems like you are almost forced to be happy or cheerful to everyone. Sometimes it's just pretending because maybe you have a personal situation going on. At least for me, I enjoy more like standard days that are maybe peaceful. Also, you can do something original or fun, but it is not necessarily linked to a specific holiday. But I guess this is more unique to me. But if you guys think same or maybe you have a different opinion, you are welcome to write in the section comments down below.
Yes, Chris, sometimes it's all about the expectation that you have and what we figure out to happen in a certain day. For example, when we think about holidays, come to our mind our childish memories. Most of all, those are very cheerful times. And when you grow up, you need to adapt to a new kind of situation. I mean, it's not so easy to party and to cheer up like in the old times, but this happens to everyone, not only, to us.
When we were elementary students, of course, Christmas here in Europe and in North America as well, it was a great day to get very unique presents. So I'm sure that we were looking forward to those as well. Losing also that kind of appeal. It's not that you're going to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning in order to wait for your Christmas presents.
Yeah, that's totally right. It's likely to wake up at 3 a.m. but not out of surprise, but out of worries when you grow up.
Yes.
But apart from that, in everyday life, you don't have such big hopes and expectations. You sort out the best of your day, but whatever comes that it's new, it's somehow unexpected. While for festivity, we still have this mentality when we should wait for something big to happen or something special, while sometimes the only important thing is to be with the loved ones and with family.
Yes. Jack, most of the people are looking forward to the end of the year, of course, January 1st, in order to start their new plans that they want to pursue throughout the year. But if you are like me, most of the time, in just a couple of weeks or sometimes days, these resolutions kinda fell off the cliff.
That we know pretty well, Chris. We also watched Peanuts' special episode, Old Lang Syne, and we guys recorded an episode where we talked about yearly expectations and resolutions for the new year.
I don't wait necessarily for January 1st in order to start something new. It could be any day. At least this is my opinion.
It's never too late to start planning. During holidays, Chris, I didn't have much time to watch a movie or a TV series because apart from spending time with my family, I just checked the new coming out on theaters. In my little city, it is not staged anything particularly interesting for me, so I decided to wait for another big coming up that should come out soon, which is the movie by Robert Eggers called The Northman. It's a thriller, noir, black, historical, because it seems to have some roots on Scandinavian culture, even if I just read the plot briefly and I actually don't know what will be going on.
But that's also the beautiful part of going to a movie theater, not to be completely spoiled by trailers and stuff like that.
Yes, the trailer got me really hyped, and as what I understood, it's that kind of drama that can be related to contemporary horror movies, which are not, standard horror movies, but has a big component of psycho thriller orientation. I'm referring to other products such as Jordan Peele's movies like Us or Get Out. By the way, also another is coming out pretty soon, I think by the end of the year, and that is called Nope. So I have expectations for these new movies. I'm definitely going to check this Robert Eggers' new movie as it comes out.
Sounds good. Sometimes regarding cinema, me and Jack has different kind of taste because Jack is more into classical movies and international cinematography, while for me, if I watch a movie, it is more like to pause everything and just to have a good laugh. So I like comedies as well as superhero movies. If you happen to enjoy Marvel movies as well, we covered so many times Marvel movies and TV series. You're welcome to go back and check out our Marvel related episodes. It's also the beautiful part of chatting and providing different point of views because I can learn a lot regarding the movie world from Jack.
Yeah, that's the same for me. Talking about video games, for Chris, I don't usually play video games, but definitely there are many titles who are worth knowing.
Again, if you are like Jack and maybe you don't have a big passion for games, but you do like Japan, I will still recommend you to listen our AkiGeeks episode related to Japan, the Samurai Warriors one. The game, it's just a way to take off and chat about Japan. I'm pretty confident that you might enjoy that style as well.
That's right, Chris. Definitely worth to check out.
Yeah, in the past we kinda had shorter episodes related to a specific topic. I remember the one dedicated to Paramount Last Halo or Pixar's Luca. But now we decided to keep OCD Geeks in a conversational format. So since our passions are wide and spread from TV series and movies as well as music, books, language learning, mental health of course, and so much more, we just want to have a place to freely chat together and hopefully for you to enjoy being part of the conversation. As we say all the time, you are welcome to provide your opinion both on Instagram and Twitter. It's very easy, just search for Chris_OCDGeeks as well as Jack_OCDGeeks. On YouTube, write a comment in the section down below. Guys, a comment or a review helps a lot to reach a wider audience and to provide more and better contents in the future. Your help is really valuable for us.
Sure, to keep the community going. So Chris, is there anything new that you watched lately that drew your attention?
Yes. So this week I'm not going to chat about something as famous as Halo or Marvel movies. It's an Italian TV series that actually has Belgium origins. The name of the show is Pechino Express. If you're wondering, Pechino in Italian is Beijing, the well-known Chinese city. This is a show that, at least here in Italy, started way back in 2012. It's kinda a traveling show where basically every team is composed by a couple. Could be father and son, maybe the scientist or the models, for example the YouTubers, anything really. They are going on a journey throughout different countries. Usually these countries are in Far East as well as Africa or South America. At least for me, most of the countries I've never been to. Even that part is really interesting. Throughout the game, they have almost no money to spend and they need to count on the help of local population. For example, to find a place to sleep or to get a ride throughout a destination. In the meantime, they face all kinds of games and unexpected situations that the production provided for them.
Do you think that all the situations that they encounter are staged in a studio?
So I'm not an expert by all means, but I think that organizing and producing a show like this, there is a lot of work to do. But most of the time, it's also related to what's going on in in the moment. So there is this kind of surprise and unexpectancy. Of course, they are followed all the time by a cameraman in order to show their progress, but it's really a fun and enjoyable show.
There was a time when I spent evenings with my grandmother and we watched a few episodes of Pechino Express, and the most important thing for me was the contact between the locals and the protagonists of the show. So you could get a lot out of their native culture and traditions just by watching the show. What was important for Europe, I mean, that was one of the reasons why it was so successful in Europe, and that it told the story of many distant countries.
Yes, and that's also one of the appealing components of the series. As you said, trying to speak in the local language. So it's something that both me and Jack really enjoy because we have a passion for language learning. For example, I remember that a few years back they went to Japan, and just see them trying to speak Japanese was so interesting and fun for me. Unfortunately, with pandemic, I'm sure that every one of our listeners can relate to that. You know, the world kinda stopped for a couple of years, or at least the world as we used to know. So even for this television program, it was not possible to do any new season for 2 or 3 years. This is the first time that we are having back the show after pandemic. So they went to several countries, including Turkey and Uzbekistan. They are going to visit the Emirates, the Arabic Emirates next. So it's something really interesting because it's both fun, but also it has an educational purpose about getting to know different cultures, notice the differences, but also the many points that we have in common. Also the friendship that we can get if we move towards the others with an open mindset. Our audience is mostly English speakers, but if somehow you are happen to be in Italy and you are familiar with Italian, you are welcome to check out Pechino Express. While if you are a French speaker, I would strongly recommend to see the French edition. Even if your French or Italian is not perfect 100%, I will still recommend to give it a try because it is heavy action based. Even just looking the video, you can guess most about what's going on. So go for it. And if you're happen to find somehow an interest for French or Italian, why not starting learning these languages?
Sure, of course. One of the interesting reasons about watching such shows, it's also the inflection of the language. You can also get how these people acquire the language. For example, English has a second language or has a third language. So all the clashes between cultures, I mean the cultures of the original native speakers and the culture of the colonizers that brought the language.
You know, Jack, sometimes in not English speaking countries, local population speaks some kind of mix between different languages and even dialects. So it's not that hard to hear some words in English and some words in a local language. It's an interesting part if you happen to have an interest in linguistics.
Yeah, I think that's what has been called Pidgin or Creole dialects.
Yes, I remember those because we studied these kind of topics a lot in university in French class. It's a really fascinating topic.
Yes, but it requires more than just one discussion to talk about it because it has big historic reasons. You know, it's a process of developing in the culture.
Yeah, you know, also I'm curious to ask our listeners if in their countries they have some kind of show that is similar to Pechino Express, that is adventure based, or maybe what's their favorite show. You can give us new insights, something that we've never heard before. So we are looking forward to your feedback as well.
That's great. Write on the section comments down below and give us a feedback about our take.
Also, if you're a native English speaker, if you're learning new languages as well, or maybe you're like us, so English is not your native tongue. So what's your native tongue? I'm curious to hear about it.
Yes, write a comment in your native language and let's see if me and Chris we'll try to guess which native language is.
Sounds good, without the help of Google Translate.
Yeah, fair enough.
speaking about languages, Jack, these days I'm considering catching up with my Japanese because it's been a while since I seriously studied it. Almost every day I'm watching contents in Japanese. As I said last time, now I'm into the well-known series My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero Academia. I am currently watching season 3 out of 5. Starting again to seriously learn Japanese is something that it's getting bigger and bigger in my projects.
Yes, maybe at the beginning you will feel rusty, but I'm sure with practice and time you will rediscover a lot of your knowledge.
Yeah, you know, Jack, I realized that actually if I listen to Japanese, I can guess the general topic of the conversation. But for me, it's more about mastering speaking and writing, since the writing is heavily based on kanji as well a mix of hiragana and katakana, while speaking, it kinda presumes that you are familiar with a set of grammar patterns that are quite different compared to Italian or more in general Western languages.
Yeah, that's right, Chris.
So Jack, I know that you can already speak several languages and I know you are busy with your work and many tasks related to personal life, but in the future, is there a new language that you've never studied before that it's kinda appealing to you and you would like somehow just to start learning it?
Well, Chris, actually, if I had the will and strength, of course, I would love to know Japanese more, to get deeper in Japanese, and in that you could even help me. But yeah, I have always been fascinated by the Icelandic language, all that is related to Iceland and that particular melodic language that they have there. So I would definitely try to study the phonetics to catch the sound.
Even myself, I don't know much about Icelandic, but the languages that are related to Scandinavian countries, the Northern Europe countries, it's something fascinating to me as well. Maybe I'm also linking those to all the Northern mythology or even like the Celtic sounds of music.
Yes, you know, guys, me and Chris like also Sigur Rós, and Sigur Rós, they're from Iceland, and by listening to their songs we got curious about those sounds and their meaning. I remember to checking for the translation of their most famous songs like Hopi Polla or Fjoldur. It inspired us.
I think the only things that I learned from them is tack as thank you.
Tak, which is also in Swedish and Norwegian.
Yes, quite different compared to Italian. You know, in a random conversation we say tack as there you go. It's more like young people slang.
Yes, that's right.
So guys, now it's your turn to join the conversation. Let us know your opinion, any comments. Until next time, let them talk our freaks.
We stay tuned on OCD Geeks.